Planet Dolan. Who was killed in his sleep by a farm animal crashing through his roof? Who managed to die at their own funeral? From freak accidents to nightmare scenarios, here are 15 of the freakiest ways people have died. I'm Danger Dolan, and today I will be your narrator.
Number 15.
In 1912, Franz Reichelt made a statement. He was gonna jump from the Eiffel Tower and live to tell about it because of his new design, a wearable parachute. The claim garnered so much attention that the event was filmed, and that's why we have film over a century old of a man jumping from the Eiffel Tower to his death.
Number 14.
Generally speaking, having soup injected into your veins would be a pretty bad thing for pretty much anyone, but it's especially bad for an 88-year-old Brazilian woman trying to recover from a stroke. The hospital that accidentally hooked up the woman's feeding tube to her IV admits they may have made a mistake, but they insist that her ensuing death had nothing to do with it.
Number 13.
Opera conducting was very different in 1687 than it is today. Instead of waving a baton in the air, conductors would hold a big staff on stage and bang it on the stage in time with the music. But one day, conductor Jean-Baptiste de Lully got a bit too excited and stabbed his own toe with his staff. The wound became infected and he came down with gangrene, but he refused to have the toe amputated, so 2 months later he died of blood poisoning.
Number 12.
Imagine driving down a highway and suddenly seeing a black bear flying towards your windshield. That was the last thing 2 people in Quebec, Canada saw in 2011. The bear was hit by a car on the highway and was launched into oncoming traffic on the other side of the road. The bear hit an SUV's front windshield and flew all the way out the back window, killing both people inside.
Number 11.
When you go to sleep at night, you probably feel totally safe and secure, right? That's what one 45-year-old Brazilian man thought when he went to bed one night, until he woke up crushed by a cow. The cow had apparently walked onto the roof of the man's home, which was built onto a hillside, and fell through his roof directly onto the man as he slept. The cow and the man's wife were completely uninjured, but the man himself died of internal bleeding.
Number 10.
Long scarf syndrome is the name for when a scarf or other piece of clothing gets stuck in a moving object and the person wearing it gets hurt. One of the earliest recorded occasions of this is from 1927, when dancer Isadora Duncan got a long silk scarf caught in the back hubcaps of her open car. As she was driving, the scarf got caught in the wheel and strangled her to death. It's all a lesson we learned from The Incredibles, only with scarves, not capes.
Number 9.
Sergei Tuganov was given a challenge. 2 women bet him about $4,300 that he wouldn't be able to satisfy them in a 12-hour sex marathon. 12 hours and an entire bottle of Viagra later, Tuganov won the bet, and a few minutes later, he died of a heart attack at 28 years old.
Number 8.
Gary Hoy was a 38-year-old lawyer who really liked showing off the structural integrity of the windows in his high-rise office building. Just to get a rise out of his co-workers, Hoy would get a running start and throw himself against the windows in his building, always bouncing off harmlessly. But one day, Hoy pulled the same stunt, bouncing off the window the first time and then taking another run at it. The second time, the window popped out of its frame and Hoy plummeted 24 stories to his death.
Number 7.
Mark Gleason had a terrible snoring problem after a car crash gave him chronic sinus issues. He decided the best way to solve these problems was to stuff tampons up his nose. The good news is he stopped snoring. The bad news is he also kinda stopped breathing.
Number 6.
In 2011, a 49-year-old Russian woman woke up at her own funeral, surrounded by loved ones mourning her passing. She was pronounced dead of a heart attack at the hospital, but clearly she wasn't. She started screaming inside her coffin after realizing she was going to be buried alive. They managed to get her out of the coffin and back to the hospital, where she died of heart failure 12 minutes later. For real this time. They checked.
Number 5.
Flying a drone has become a popular thing for people in the last few years, but they've been around for a while. In 1979, for instance, there was a drone shaped like a lawnmower flying around at an NFL game in Shea Stadium in New York. That very same flying lawnmower plowed into a 20-year-old man in the stands. Witnesses said it looked like he had been attacked by an axe, and he died of his injuries 4 days later.
Number 4.
Monkeys are jerks. Ask anyone who's been around them for a while. You could ask S.S. Bajwa, the former deputy mayor of New Delhi, except you can't, because monkeys literally came to his house and killed him by knocking him off his terrace at his home.
Number 3.
Nothing wrong with playing some video games, but playing these for 50 hours straight with no breaks, well, that will get you killed. At least it did to one South Korean man, whose death was linked to heart failure related to bodily exhaustion. Remember that next time you do a 24-hour stream on Twitch.
Number 2.
Back in the mid-2000s, there was a video circulating the internet involving a man willingly putting himself on the receiving end of sex with a horse. That video shall remain nameless and linkless, but that guy died, and the state of Washington determined it needed to put laws about bestiality on the books very quickly after that. In headline, "Don't put a horse dick in you." Anyway, don't do it.
Number 1.
This is the literal nightmare scenario. Think about the worst possible way to die, and you'll come up with something like this. In 2012, a father and his 2 sons fell into a pond filled with liquid animal manure. People nearby tried to help, but in the end they were unable to pull their family out, and all 3 of them drowned. Afterwards, it took several hours just for rescue workers to recover the bodies. What? Danger Dawn, did you know that we have a countdown book featuring some of our best scripts on sale now? Links down below for the physical and ebook versions. That is it for this countdown. Have a good one!